All right, hi guys, I'm back with another update. This one is being made here on January 11th. And before I get into the update, I want to remind you about my pro site. If you haven't joined yet, I would love for you to join at www.patreon.com/Ohio Valley Weather. You'll find a lot of extra details there about the weather of the Ohio Valley, plus even more. So let's get right into this. First, I'm going to start by looking at the PNA forecast. Remember, the PNA is the Pacific North American Teleconnection. And as you can see, back around December 1st, the PNA went negative, and it went way negative and stayed that way up until just here recently. But now in the last few days, we have seen the PNA turn positive. And as you can see from the forecast, we're expected to see a positive PNA here for several days. So remember, when the PNA goes positive, that means that the Western United States is experiencing a warm up. And typically when that happens, that forces colder air into the Eastern United States, including the Ohio Valley. And you can see from this map that that's exactly what's going on right now. We have mostly warm temperatures out here. These are numbers showing above normal. Anything in red is above normal temperatures. And so there's that positive PNA in the west. And again, that has pushed the colder air over into the east. And most of the Ohio Valley is about 10 degrees below normal right now. The normal temperature for this time of year would be having highs in the mid 30s, and we've been seeing highs in the mid 20s. We may see a little bit of a warm up tomorrow, but with the PNA remaining positive, we can expect mainly cool temperatures here in the east. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is the NAO. And remember, the NAO is the North Atlantic Oscillation. It's based on the ocean temperatures over the North Atlantic Ocean. And you can see for the first part of January, the NAO was very positive, but we are expecting to see the NAO go negative here over the next few days. And by the middle of January, we could see the NAO go very negative. And when that happens, that means that we end up having a high pressure over the North Atlantic. Sometimes it's referred to as the Greenland high. And when we have that Greenland high, it serves as a blocking mechanism for storms that come across North America. Essentially, it slows them down and forces them to come up the East Coast, or in other words, a negative NAO facilitates nor'easters. And so we're in a setup right now where we could see a nor'easter coming soon. And in fact, I wanted to show you this map right here. You can see there's that high over the North Atlantic. And so any of these lows that we see coming in off the coast of Canada up here, they're going to come down and they're going to follow a path something like this, and then come up like this. But the exact path right now is not known for sure. That's going to be the big question. So let's keep looking here. All right, so now I want to go to the models and show you what the models are forecasting over the next several days. And I'll start by looking at the CFS model. Here's the CFS model. The CFS model is the climate forecast system. And this is for tomorrow, Wednesday. And if we keep pushing this forward, you can see there's a small area of low pressure that may come across the Great Lakes on Thursday, but we're not expecting anything significant out of that. Now, here's what I want you to watch right up here in central Canada. You see this low pressure forming. All of the models are showing that this snowstorm is going to form over Canada sometime Thursday or Friday. You can see by Friday, we have a large area of snow. And again, all the forecast models are showing this. And so we're expecting this large area of snow to come down and track somewhere here across the eastern United States. The models are all showing, though, a different track. On this CFS model, you see it coming down there. It's over Minnesota, Wisconsin area. And by Saturday, you can see the CFS model takes that storm right across the Ohio Valley. This would be a pretty decent snow for the Ohio Valley. And then if we go into Sunday, it takes it into a little bit of a nor'easter for the northeastern United States, and you get some pretty heavy snow here in New York and Vermont, New Hampshire, and that's going to continue all the way up into Maine with a pretty serious snowstorm. So that's what the CFS model is showing. Now let's look at the European model. So with the European model, here it comes again. There's that little area of low pressure on Thursday that doesn't amount to much of anything. But then by Friday, we see the snow over Canada, just like the CFS showed. And now with the European model, taking a similar track coming down into Minnesota. Notice, though, it doesn't get into Wisconsin. So this track with the European model is slightly further west, and you're going to see that it goes slightly further south. Notice it pushes it all the way down into Arkansas, and it goes even further south, all the way down into Mississippi, Alabama, putting snow all the way down to Mississippi, Alabama, even into Georgia, and then developing as a nor'easter coming up the other side. But as you can see with the European model, it basically goes right around the Ohio Valley, and we really end up getting nothing much from it. This does still push of decent snow, though, into the Northeast. So we would still have a pretty decent nor'easter here in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine. So that's being pretty consistent. It's looking like these states up here, they better be preparing for a pretty big snow. Now let's look at what the GFS model is showing. So this was the most recent run of the GFS model today, and pushing it ahead again. Here we go into Thursday. There's that little bit of a low pressure Thursday, not amounting to much of anything, little bit of lake effect snow possibly. But then by Friday, there it is. Once again, we see that snow over Canada. Now let's watch the track that it takes going into Minnesota, again, missing Wisconsin. So this is a similar track to the European model, taking it pretty far south. Now understand, if it goes this far south, this is going to be able to pull a lot of moisture up from the Gulf of Mexico, and that could really result in a pretty big snow. So now with the GFS, though, look at the track. With the GFS, it's showing a track a little closer inland, and this is going to throw snow back into the Ohio Valley, certainly eastern Ohio, most of West Virginia, and probably all of Pennsylvania. So if this track is correct, we could see a pretty significant snow for the Ohio Valley Sunday night into Monday morning. Once again, we see a strong nor'easter for these states. And so again, it's looking pretty certain that these states are going to get a pretty big snowstorm. The question is, what's going to happen for the Ohio Valley? Let's look at one more model. This is the Canadian model. With the Canadian model, things start out similar. There's that low pressure on Thursday that really doesn't amount to much of anything, maybe a few flurries Thursday. But then by Friday, here's the snow. Now, the Canadian model has it a little bit further south already by Friday, but again, taking a similar track, coming down into the central United States, it comes pretty far south, and then it starts to come up. But this one, yeah, doesn't have the nor'easter. It doesn't have it forming the snow, nothing for the Ohio Valley. And according to the Canadian model, no snow for the northeastern United States. So 3 out of 4 models are showing a nor'easter forming for the northeastern United States. All 4 models, though, show this storm coming down out of Canada Friday into Saturday, and possibly then becoming a major snowstorm for the eastern United States. So this is something to keep an eye on. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens with this. And I guess then I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.